Let's head to north-central Nigeria, where Friday morning in Bokkos local government areas of Plateau State was welcomed by groups of community members protesting what they described as wrongful arrest of their young men by troops of Sector 5, Operation Safe Haven in Bokkos. Confirming the incident on telephone, the Media and Information Officer, Headquarters of Operation Safe Haven, Captain Oya James, says the protest resulted from the discovery of more bodies on the aftermath of the December 24th attacks and the stoning to death of one man suspected to be behind the Christmas Eve incident in the area. Now, News Central's Chizoba Anionwe tells us more.
Barely 2 weeks after the deadly attacks that took the lives of many people in 3 local government areas in Plateau State, a storm of reactions has continued even as more bodies were recently discovered by security operatives. Fanning the embers of Friday's incident was when community members carried out a protest pointing accusing fingers at security agents for wrongful arrest of their sons. The irate protesters also set ablaze their traditional ruler's house, accusing him of complicity in the attacks that rocked their communities. Speaking with the Media and Information Officer of Operation Safe Haven on telephone, he said the accusation of the troops and the Nigerian police force in making wrongful arrests was baseless, as the suspects were immediately released to the Christian Association of Nigeria in Bokkos after investigation was over. In a very brief interview, Transition Committee Chairman of Bokkos local government area spoke to newsmen.
They have suffered, and their wives, their children, their husbands were killed. No arrest was made, and the people that were arrested yesterday, some of them were looking after their burned down properties. The military went and arrested them, so that is why they are protesting. I am dialoguing with the leaders, and as you can see, I have been with the women always while talking to them. Most of them listened to us, and they retreated.
However, calm has since been restored to affected areas following intervention by the troops of Operation Safe Haven. In Jos, for News Central, I am Chizoba Anionwe.
To discuss this, we are joined by a security expert, Ambassador Melvin Ejeh. He is the Executive Director, Global Peace and Life Rescue Initiative. Thank you for your time, Melvin. All right.
Thank you for having me. Good evening, Nigerians.
Great. Now, what factors may have contributed to the escalation of protest in Bokkos local government area to the extent of burning down the house of the district head? And how does this impact the overall security situation in the area?
I think it's a perceived injustice by the community who felt that the senseless and barbaric attack carried out by these suspected headsmen went and people were not arrested, but that's actually a very wrong notion, because for the fact I know that several arrests have been made. Most principal suspects over this attack have been arrested. Very key people in the suspected community, suspected headers have been arrested, and as I speak to you, investigation is ongoing. But I'm sure they don't have information that arrests have been made, and that's why they're protesting. Well, I wouldn't say this is a period of emotion. It's a period where emotions are very high, so anything is possible. But I think some of these protests were instigated. They may be instigated by politicians and people who don't mean well for the state. I don't think we need protest now. Going to burn the palace of the paramount ruler of the community is actually not correct, because it's the same government fund they are going to use to build this palace. I don't think that's very correct. Whatever his offense is, I expect that the leaders of that community should have went into that problem immediately to see how they don't carry that act. Emotions are very high. People are very angry. I spoke to some persons from the community. What they told me was that when they killed their people, arrests are not being made, and now some persons, one of the suspected header was killed in Bokkos, and they're arresting their children. They don't know how security works. Naturally, if there are incidences, whoever is affected, arrest will be made. Even if somebody is killed from any party, arrest is usually going to be made so that investigation will go on. And when investigation went on, They discovered that these people may not be capable, and they were released almost immediately. So I do not see reason for that protest, even though emotions are high and anything is possible.
All right, now let's look at the responses of security forces to this particular, very unfortunate incident, talking about the insecurity level in the state and what measures can be taken to de-escalate tensions and ensure the safety of both protesters and residents in Bokkos local government area.
I think we should continue to build confidence among the security and the community, because there is no way we can succeed, there is no way we can fight this criminality without the synergy of both the security and the locals. If we don't trust our security agencies, if we don't trust particularly the military, the Operation Safe Haven, it won't work. It really can't work. I keep emphasizing on this on any platform I speak, that what we need most is trust. The people behind this crisis are criminals who have come to kill people at will, criminals who kill 3-month-old babies, criminals who beheaded 3-month-old babies. These are criminals and should be rejected by everybody in this country. Now, passing the buck to our security agency is actually not acceptable. So for some of us who are experts, we know some of these issues, and I'm going to be very categorical. Most of the crisis you are seeing on the plateau here is the lack of political will. It's a lack of political will. If we have the required political will, if we have the required political strength, this crisis will finish. Some politicians instigate this crisis. They are behind this crisis. We are aware. So passing the buck to the security agencies who actually don't have sufficient boots on the ground, who actually don't have sufficient equipment on the ground, who actually are operating on very low morale is unacceptable. I do not agree with them. Now, let me tell you something. If you look at some of the terrains where these attacks took place, the attack took place in a very hilly, bumpy terrain that are not accessible by vehicles. These terrains are very difficult to access. So, is it the responsibility of the security agents to make roads to these communities? It's not. Is it their responsibility to buy motorbikes for their operations? It's not. It is not. They are working with what they have. Like I maintain, both the former government, both at the state and federal government, did not do well for the security agencies. Quote me anywhere. The former government, the government that left before this current, both state government and federal government, did not do well for the security of the state. We are aware. Why didn't they plant security gadgets in this community?
I'm sorry.
Why are there no cameras?
Why did you say the former government didn't do well? Can you be more specific in the areas where they were, lagging?
I work closely with the security agencies. I'm aware several times where requests were made that, look, if you want us to have good response time, make roads to this place, give us XYZ, planting cameras, but they didn't do it. I'm aware. I'm speaking from fact. I'm also aware where memos were written by former commanders of Operation Safe Haven advising state governments on what to do, but they didn't do it. I'm aware where they requested for several bikes so that it will make their movement easy to these communities. Whenever there's an attack, they didn't provide this motorcycle. The last one they provided by the last government were just very few motorcycles that did not last up to 1 year.
What do you think could have been responsible for their lack of response? Could it be as a result of lack of resources or just nonchalance?
I do not agree. It's nonchalantness and lack of experience, because what kind of resources are you talking about? Because if you look at President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's budget for security this time, it is very deliberate. That's the kind of president I want to end security. No matter what you are going to do in the state, you can't have a quality infrastructure, you can't have quality development without security. So any government that prioritizes security would have gone extra mile. What does it take to get surveillance camera in this community? It doesn't take anything to build a control room. It doesn't take anything to buy motorbike. It doesn't take anything to buy gadgets that would have been used by security agencies. Men of Operation Safe Haven, in fairness to them, ably led by Major General Ejeh are doing so much to keep Plateau safe. I insist they are doing so much because I know very well.
Okay, now let's talk about their efforts, right now within, the context of this current administration, right? Are there any bottlenecks or holdbacks?
No. I think the current administration is very deliberate about security. But mind you, some of these issues that would have snowballed into the attack did not start from this government. There are issues that were carried on from the previous government. But what this government, both state, if you look at the response by the federal government on this Bokkos crisis, you would have known that this government is very serious about security. And the state governor is also very deliberate about security. Governor Caleb Bofa loves his people. He's going all out for his people, and I'm sure we're going to get a result in no distance time.
Now let's look.
There's no bottleneck.
Okay, because we press for time, let's look at security agencies working, in collaborative efforts with local authorities and community leaders to actually understand and address the root causes of these recent attacks, particularly in Bokkos, fostering a more secure and stable environment. Do you see that happening already?
Yeah, I think there's some form of collaboration going on currently, but my advice is to politicians. I think we must, no matter the party we belong to, we should put Plateau first. We must come together to solve this problem, because instead of blaming the security agencies, instead of instigating people to rise and protest against security agencies, I think the politicians must develop the political will to put Plateau first. They must love Plateau irrespective of their party. And if some of them do this thing for just popularity's sake, they do it just to win an election. When the actual sense, the security men are not a problem. Though we have some bad eggs among them, though we have some defense among them, but they are obviously not the problem. The problem lies with lack of political will, I insist. But so currently, under this government, I'm seeing a very good collaboration between the security and the community. And we're going to press that it gets better.
All right, Ambassador Melvin Ejeh, the Executive Director, Global Peace and Life Rescue Initiative. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. You're most welcome.